Elena pours her soul into every canvas. Her best friend tried to tear it to shreds, so she painted a revenge no critic could ignore. Welcome to The Fallout Zone.
I used to joke that Chloe and I shared the same bloodstream of pigment. We grew up in the same cramped apartment block, sketched the same city pigeons, and swore nothing, lovers, bills, success, would ever wedge between us. When I landed a shortlist slot for the Halstead Gallery's Emerging Visionaries Award, she squealed louder than I did. 3 months later, Celestial Pulse. Silk veils layered with crushed lapis and hand-pulled silver leaf hung in my studio like a private galaxy. Chloe critiqued every stroke, fetched ramen at 2 a.m., and volunteered to deliver the finished canvas because she said, "Your masterpiece deserves a chauffeur." Opening night shimmered with curated glamour. White cube walls, violin quartet, critics swirling elderflower spritzers. I stood beneath the draped canvas in moonprint heels Chloe bought me, certain a new chapter was about to open. It did, just not the one I drafted. The curator whisked off the cloth. Gasps knifed the air. The starburst had been gouged, delicate silk hung like flayed skin. Before I fully processed the destruction, she read my artist's statement aloud. The colors danced like lost squirrels in a vacuum of emotional soup. Laughter detonated, phones filmed, and Tash Soupgate trended before dessert. The board disqualified me for unprofessional conduct, and an art blogger called me the Jackson Pollock of nonsense. I staggered from the gallery in a trance and collapsed on Chloe's couch. She pressed mint tea into my hands and spoke in soothing tones. Maybe sleep deprivation scrambled my file. Maybe the silk veil couldn't handle humidity. I swallowed her words whole, because trusting Chloe was a reflex as old as breathing. Sponsors ghosted me. Classmates pitied me. I deleted every social app and binge-watched documentaries about whales that never leave the deep. Then insomnia delivered a clue. Scrolling through old photos, I spotted Chloe in my studio a night before the unveiling, wearing her moss-green trench. The sleeve glittered with cerulean specks. Pigment I'd mixed from crushed lapis, impossible to replicate accidentally. In an instant, the fog lifted. Chloe alone in the studio while I napped, Chloe offering to drive the piece, Chloe insisting I delete the backup statement to avoid confusion. Betrayal wasn't happenstance. It was choreography. Rage is volcanic, but paint channels lava into lines. I gutted the studio, covered floors with butcher paper, and let instinct drive my hand. Over 21 nights, I produced shades of trust, 6 canvases no longer celestial but visceral. Puppets cutting strings, cracked masks weeping gold, a glass heart suspended in tar. I embedded relics of our history, a halved friendship bracelet, our 3rd grade photo seared at the edges, the spare key she kept secret, then sealed each layer in resin so the past could never escape. The Lawson Street Gallery booked the series sight unseen. Opening night felt less like a debut and more like a reckoning. Patrons moved in reverent murmurs. Some dabbed tears at silenced, a figure drowning beneath watercolor waves. I answered questions, never naming my muse. 1 hour in, the room chilled. Chloe arrived, entourage in tow, face set in confident stone. That stone cracked at the first painting. By the 4th, a mirror-finished panel etched with betrayal begins at home. Her knees buckled. Whisper networks ignited, linking symbols to stories Chloe herself had bragged about at parties. She fled before reaching the final canvas. 2 girls painting stars, one quietly slashing the night sky. The next dawn, Art Vibe posted a rave. Rivera's brutal honesty redefines vulnerability. The critic nominated Shades of Trust for the Halstead Award, the same stage where I'd been humiliated. Within days, Chloe's solo show was canceled by a collector seeking ethical clarity. Mutual friends deleted her from group chats. Rumors surfaced of other small sabotages she'd committed over the years, each now scrutinized in unforgiving light. Halstead's director called with a formal apology and a fresh invitation. I accepted, wearing those scuffed moonprint heels as a reminder that even small things can orbit back stronger. Revenge didn't require public accusations. The work had spoken. As flashbulbs popped on gala night, I imagined Chloe scrolling alone, realizing the galaxy she tried to destroy had become the constellation that exposed her. I finally mixed a new pigment, a violet forged from catharsis and resilience. Under gallery lights, it glowed like a promise. trust broken can still burn bright enough to guide the way home.
Thank you for watching The Fallout Zone. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.